We're starting with Micah Parsons, sick and tired of his contract situation, so he took a little nap on the medical table. Caught some shut-eye and was one of the only players on the Cowboy who's not wearing a jersey. Now, Coach Schottenheimer was asked about this, and he said, without talking to Micah, I need to figure out what he was doing and why. Until I talked to him, I'm obviously not going to talk about it. Micah then took to Twitter and retweeted a report, Brew, clarifying that he didn't lie on the table all night.
Oh, okay.
Just briefly.
By the way, that is an important clarification.
No one thought he was there all night.
Like he literally was sleeping for 3 hours.
No, it's an important clarification. He wasn't there for like a whole quarter. That it was a couple minutes.
That would be absurd.
Well,
I mean, the whole story is absurd,
but
laying there is nuts. He said he'd never disrespect the guys out there fighting for their lives. Was this a bad look for Micah, Danny? I already heard from Brew on this.
Yeah, you did. And Brew, I love you. You said it was the first misstep, I think.
I think it was his first misstep. What do you think?
I mean, I think if it's a misstep, it's a misdemeanor, right? I think it's jaywalking.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is a big old fat nothing burger. I know what he was doing, by the way. I've had some back problems in my day.
Yeah.
Stretch it out the lumbar. You lay on the table, you lay on the back, you put one leg off to the side, loosens the lower part of that lower right tightness. I would like to exclusively report for Micah Parsons in that spot. But also just the idea of us hyperanalyzing this is very silly and very Cowboys and very Micah Parsons. Like, we don't have video. We don't know if it was during a commercial. We don't know if it was coming out of halftime. We don't know if it was during warm-ups. We don't know how long he was on the bench for. He just laid on a table with a bad back for a couple of minutes. And Terry McLaurin skipped a whole preseason game. That was a bad look. He got $96 million today. The bad look here is on Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys for allowing it to get to this point where we are even taking an out-of-context snapshot of Micah Parsons and trying to put value or meaning onto it. I still think he's playing week 1 and the deal gets done, and this is just the latest chapter in a really dumb Dallas Cowboys story.
So I was leaning towards he's playing, that Jerry is just hijacking the offseason, like similar to what he did last year. But this has, in my opinion, maybe I'll be wrong again. I was wrong about Dak last year. This has gotten far more vitriolic, certainly than Terry McLaurin got, between. And it has been by Jerry continually upping the ante. Yeah. Jerry started this by breaking a rule, maybe it's a never enforced rule, but a rule in the CBA, which is if a player has a certified agent, you must negotiate with that agent, not the player. And then by saying that negotiation stands, those are the terms, there's nothing else to talk about, and then by doing a media tour. And that's the part of this that I think is the most unfair to Micah, is Micah has not talked. Micah, he did a brief little press gaggle at training camp early on. He hasn't done any, one-on-one interviews. He hasn't done his own podcast. He posted the thing to Twitter. You know what I mean? The long notes app, a trade request, and that's it. Jerry's talking to Stephen A. and to Michael Irvin, and Brew, he is upping the threats. He is saying, Jerry started with, he has a contract. Remember that was a month ago. Reminding everyone he has a contract. That has now escalated to, we've got him for 3 years. The last 2 years of which he does not have a contract for. It's just Jerry being like, I can slap you with the franchise tag. And so I am as close to 100% on Micah's side as one can be. I'm not bothered at all by him laying on the training table.
No, I'm totally on Micah's side. I do think this was a misstep. It's just not a good look. But I'm totally on his side because Jerry has created this whole situation. And I get why Micah is, if you want to call this acting out, because he has very little leverage. He took his first stab at it. He shot his first weapon when he demanded the trade. And Jerry has completely ignored it. It's like that trade request didn't even happen. I mean, really. And I believe Jerry that if I was in Jerry's shoes, we're not even thinking about trading him. I'm not even listening. I would ignore it too. But after that doesn't work, then you go to this. You know, and that's something. I don't want to make it too big because I agree it's a misdemeanor. But it is clearly a statement when you're laying on the table
and him
like
not wearing the jersey is more of a statement.
Right.
Yeah,
Him
so
not wearing the
it's a
jersey
statement.
is calculated.
And I think, and there were reports today that at least some people said they didn't see
But
him
he
on
was.
the
But
practice
someone
field.
then reported he was in the building.
He's in
the building.
We know, and Brew, I know you agree with this, that he's a television producer, he being Jerry Jones. You know, in the Netflix documentary that's out right now, he's like, it's a soap opera, 365 days a year. He's already impacted their week 1 game. He's going to be limited if he plays against Philly, and so that has hurt him. But I do think that there is some sort of, I like it, I'm fine with it.
You mean him?
Yes,
but to me, like Nick said earlier, this is uglier than Lamar in Baltimore was.
I agree.
I think it's even uglier than Trey Hendrickson is with the Bengals. Like this looks to me like. But Dak didn't get this bad. Emmett sat out for 2 games, but Emmett even made the distinction. He was not under a contract. He was a straight up free agent.
But it's also the other problem is this: he has rewarded guys who have accomplished less in less time because they have been not bad teammates, but because they have held out. CD held out, did not show up, and got paid. Zeke, as a running back after year 3, held out and got paid. The guys who have tried to be good Cowboys, Dak, what did he do? He made him wait, franchise tagged him, and now Micah's threatening to do the same thing. So that to me is bad business from how you want to run your team. The point that you have been trying to make forever is the way it impacts their ability to win week 1, which I feel like if you believe, Danny, that that this is ending with Micah becoming the highest paid defensive player.
Which I do.
Well, then, to me, then you also have to believe Jerry Jones does not care that they have now a far less chance of beating the Eagles. That he is fine trading off publicity for even if it's 1% better chance to win the Super Bowl this year, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what we're saying.
I don't think that Jerry Jones, he says the only thing that matters to him is another Lombardi trophy in his trophy case. It clearly isn't the only thing that matters to him.
I agree with you on that.
Right?
Totally.
I don't even know if he's doing that calculus in his head.
I feel
about
like
this cost us 1%.
This has gotten personal. And it might be more personal between Jerry and the agent.
And David Mulcahy.
Because he's talked more about how, according to Jerry, after he and Micah came up with this deal, that the agent said, well,
shove it.
Exactly. Shove it, with more explicit language.
I was trying to help you out there, Brew. I knew you didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
But Jerry seems to really be bothered by this because he is just ignoring, and I would say publicly disrespecting, David Mulcahy, who's one of the greatest agents in the NFL. And so it seems personal almost between those two. Danny, I threw out earlier, I think if Jerry's telling the truth when he says there's an offer on the table for Micah that will make him the highest paid non-quarterback ever, if that's still the truth, like after all the latest signings, TJ Watt and all that, then even if Micah, they wanted to really break the market and get a few million ahead of the highest paid guy, he needs to go and sign it. Get his agent to call Jerry and sign it because I believe Jerry's threats about we'll make him play on this $21 million deal and then franchise him for 2 years.
So I don't believe Jerry's threats. Dak got done. They always get done. Chris Jones missed a game and got done. Emmett missed 2 and got done. I do not see a world where Micah Parsons misses a serious amount of time. I'll be shocked if he misses 1 game. And I do still think that Micah wants to shatter that record.
So week 1, 10 days, Cowboys in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys are a big draw, obviously, America's team, and they've got the Netflix special. The thing that we always talk about is the magic of the Cowboys and how they remain relevant. Are they the supporting actor in the opening night?
No doubt.
Do you think Jerry realizes that? Like, does Jerry realize, like, hey, man, it's the champs and you. You guys have second billing on the marquee. Like, I would think that Jerry Jones, like you said, he wants to win the Super Bowl and he loves the spotlight. Like, why don't you do everything you can to knock off the champs? Opening week, all eyes of the sports universe on you. He's like, you know what I'll trade it for? A gaggle of reporters around me as Micah holds out. Yeah. It seems in conflict with winning and in conflict of the heat that he desires.
I think it is, and I know we have to move on. I think it is two things that are in direct conflict to winning that are hurting the Cowboys here, and they in relation to Jerry. One is I do think he just likes. He told us it's my, if there's not news, I'll drum it up. He was very transparent about that. And I think the other one is his own ego in a feeling that, man, you know what people say a lot? I lost that negotiation.
Yeah,
you know what hasn't been what hasn't been said much, in the last big deals. Wow, the Cowboys got a bargain. The last one of those that happened was Tyron Smith. And I don't know this, I'm just guessing. My guess is that was done like this one, where he negotiated with Tyron, because it was a bizarre deal. It was like 8 years long. It was a player who was dealing with financial troubles because his family reportedly had stolen from him. Yeah. And that felt like that. And so I think Jerry might feel like, you know what? When I do get on the phone with, David Mulugeta or Dak's agent or whatever, then I turn on Sean Sharif's show on 105.3 The Fan, and they're like, man, they sure paid top of the market. I don't want to do that. So I think it's ego and attention that is hurting the Cowboys' ability, which, again, if you didn't know the game was in 10 days, follow Wilds on Twitter. He's
10 days.
It's a good bit.
Well, you'll see how Jalen Hurts does.
It's a terrible bit.
It's not the best.
Jalen Hurts fell in the ESPN rankings. You see that? Won the Super Bowl, went from 32 to 36. He wins again, be down to 45. Prediction week rolls on. We're starting with the NFC East. We're staying there, actually. Danny, as you know, it's been 20 years since there was a repeat division champion. The Eagles won 4 times in a row. 01 to 04 with Andy Reid, one of the great Eagles coaches.
One of the great?
Yeah, his winning percentage right up there with Nick Sirianni. Are they on the verge of another run, Danny, or will they be thwarted by Jackson Dart's aura? Your NFC East predictions.
All right, well, they're not coming in at number 4, so we can stay. I know. So I'll keep the suspense going just a little bit for the repeat division champs. But number 4 is Jackson Dart and his aura.
Wow.
The New York Giants.
Tons of aura, though.
Tons of aura. He won the preseason. You might see Jackson Dart on Stock Up, Stock Down coming up in just a little bit.
In segment tease.
They have 10 playoff teams from last year on their schedule this year, 6 of the first 8 games. I don't think moon balls from Russell Wilson to Malik Neighbors are going to be quite enough.
Who does
there.
love the moon ball?
It's a fun thing to watch.
But there's nothing else.
Third place, the aforementioned Dallas Cowboys. And it has very little to do with offseason nonsense because I am baking in that Micah Parsons will be there. I don't think it's about offseason distractions. I think that is how Jerry Jones fills the media time, and we thank him for it, for the content in the offseason. They can't stop the run. And they didn't get much better at that. And I have to remind people, Dallas had a losing record with Dak Prescott last year. Right. People talk about, Dak Prescott got hurt and it derailed. They were 3-5 with him.
And Micah.
And the wins were not very impressive. Now 2-1, there's a late change. I went back and forth. Wow. I agonized over it. It's true. And I'm coming in, and we can reveal them kind of back to back. 2 Washington Commanders going back to the playoffs. 1 the Philadelphia Eagles, back-to-back division champions.
This is Brews, by the way, as well.
Yeah. So aligned with Brew. I know
awful start.
That's good news for you.
Well, here it is.
Great start to the show.
When I saw that Nick had Washington over Philly, because I was thinking about it, but I'm like, now I'm the top prognosticator on FTF. Because I beat him last year, and I beat you handily, and I've been beating you for years.
It wasn't that close.
Going back, it really wasn't that close. And I think this comes down to Week 18.
Nick, you did.
Week 18, wow.
Week 18.
A specific prediction.
I think it comes down to Week 18. That game happens to be in Philly. Wow. I think Philly deserves the edge for being the champs. They deserve pole position. They lost, though, 4,400 snaps on defense. And they are the youngest defense in the NFL. And they had the second best health of any team last year. So you get a little too young on defense. You get a little bit worse health. I just don't think they're as much of a lock. But because Nick picked them, be second. I can't do it.
KW. Does it? Go ahead. Sorry, it looked like you want to say something.
I'm putting the Commanders on mid-alert.
Whoa. Middle.
So this is like my
So
thing
you
last
see what
year.
I was. You ripped me for questioning Jaden.
They're on mid-alert.
And now that's exactly what
Everything
I said.
you say
I'm
about
new
the
here.
Commanders, you
Mid-alert?
could. It's brand. I just invented it.
Okay, sorry.
Everything you say about the Commanders, sounds like last year's Texans.
Yes.
Superstar, rookie, defensive coach, changed the culture.
Last
This
year's
is-
Offensive
Texans,
line
by
should
the
be
way,
better, though.
made the playoffs
And
I
won a
know.
playoff game.
I know, but they weren't winning games. Hail Marys and
No.
middle.
I
They're on
could-
middle.
I could
They could go
definitely-
either way. They're just on mid alert.
But
if
the
they're
Texans
mid,
weren't mid last year. That's the thing. Nick's right.
they're certainly on mid alert.
They were on mid alert at times.
Most of the
They're
season.
on, the
But it didn't
Commanders
do
on
well.
Well, it would be.
mid-alert.
Here's
They
the
were on
thing,
mid-alert,
and you don't. I don't know that you want to say this because you are a Jaden guy. And listen, CJ. They won the division. They ended up winning a playoff game. You can't say it was a bad year.
Right.
But CJ's statistical production plummeted. You know what I mean? Like
a ton of sacks.
It took a ton of sacks and had a passer rating, I think sub 90. I think it was like
Yeah, it was,
87
yeah.
for the year. I'm not worried about. My concern for Jaden is, will he play all 17? If he plays all 17, I think he'll be good. My concern with Jaden is the durability, but he was durable last year.
But also their defense. I think Jaden will play well. My question,
defense
and I
is a
do
real
have them in the
concern.
playoffs, yeah, but I just think the other aspects of the team
I
could
think,
hurt
can
them.
I give tell me if you think this take is insane. Is it possible the best defense in the division is the Giants?
Very possible.
Yeah, their front seven is going to make them competitive in a lot of games. A lot of losses against better teams, but they'll be
You
competitive.
get a good defense and a quarterback with aura. It's a good combination.
When he plays.
AFC East, Danny, dominated thoroughly by the Patriots since the turn of the century. 17 AFC East titles
That's the dumbest stat
since
I've ever heard.
Y2K.
Good point.
But to be fair, the Bills, turns out, people are like, the Bills? They lost all those Super Bowls? Turns out they've been very good recently. A lot of people still think about the
news.
Patriots. Your AFC East predictions.
I don't think anyone was willing to go this far with the fourth place team, but the Miami Dolphins are coming in last in this division.
That is different.
They cannot win or score points when Tua doesn't play. And Tua routinely doesn't play.
Oh, you're going to make Wilds mad. You're not allowed to call Tua injury prone on this show.
He's played a full season once in his career. He missed 6 games last year. They scored 13 points a game in those 6.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I don't trust a team that can't score without a quarterback who often doesn't play. The coach might get fired. The GM might get fired. The star wide receiver doesn't seem to want to be there. They're trading away a bunch of guys. They don't like hitting. They're not tough. They can't win in cold weather. There's a lot of
Outside
things
of that, though.
that are going on.
H-
Breakdancing.
move.
I don't know if we have the breakdancing budget. It's very confusing. Third place team, the New York Jets.
I'm rolling here.
Aaron Glenn, what he did in Detroit when all of their guys got hurt, and the defense was not good, to be very clear, but it was better than it should have been. They were gritty with all of the practice squatters. I feel like the team has talent on the roster that they'll get the new coach bump just to competency. They will be a competent, tough out with Aaron Glenn there. And coming in at number 2, the big reveal Wilds. Yes, you're New England Patriots.
You don't have the
but
playoff
no
stamp.
playoff
It's a graphic
stamp.
issue.
It's not a graphic issue. Is it possible that your guy Mike Vrabel, touch overrated?
Well, at this point, where people are putting him in Canton, so probably.
Okay.
He's going to
Absolutely.
take it down one notch.
Thank you, because
Yes.
people look back at Tennessee, they're like, what Mike Vrabel did
That's
in Tennessee.
true, though.
Okay.
Really?
He had Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown.
But
Two guys who right now are
And then his
organization that
last few
traded
years
the guys
there,
away.
didn't go well.
The last couple of years, losing record for him and different coordinators every year. There were power struggles. It did not end well for Vrabel. Now, an upgrade, to be clear, they spent $100 million more than everyone else in free agency. They're going to be better, and I love Drake May. I'm just not ready for the playoffs
okay.
yet.
That's fine.
And then, of course, at number 1, there's no debate here. It's the Buffalo Bills.
This is, by the way, the ultimate sign of respect for the Bills.
That we don't-
I think we spent 25 total
Like, obviously
seconds
we
for all of us on that because we knew
If
it.
that, right.
I am okay. If we all think the Patriots are good enough, I pick them to go to the playoffs and are good enough to be in second place. Here's the question I have for you: what is the expectation level for your quarterback? Because he's the only top 3 pick for a team that we now think, should be good, whatever it is, that it feels like there is no
You want a statistical? I'd have to whose year would I be happy with?
Yeah, I mean,
Caleb's.
Caleb who?
From last year?
3.5 to 1 touchdown interception ratio,
Oh my gosh.
3,500 passing yards.
Hold on.
Go a full holiday season without throwing a touchdown.
Oddly, if you had Caleb's stat line on a team that went 10-7, it would feel
Are you talking about, just not joking around, you're talking about USC or the Bears?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.